You're welcome back. And Speaker of Parliament, Professor Michael Quay, has directed the House's committees on education as well as the gender and social protection to investigate why some schools are not benefiting from the school feeding program. MPs have today been condemned the takeover of the school feeding program by party agents following change in government, which has led to a suspension of the program in some parts of the country. Member of Parliament for Ejura Sekyedumase, Mohammed Bawa, told the House that provision of food to more than 14,000 pupils in his constituency has been halted since the beginning of the year over disagreements that resulted from the takeover. Joseph Opoku joins me in the studio. He'll tell us more of what happened in Parliament, and Enrique roll the sounds from Parliament so you could hear it from the horse's own mouth. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic, yourself?
Good. Not bad at all. Let's deal with business right now. So this issue about the school feeding, how did it end in Parliament when it was raised?
It became a major issue on the floor today. Eventually, the Speaker gave a directive on that. But even before that, the Member of Parliament for the Ejura area, Brahma Muhammadu, he read a statement indicating that this whole politicization of the scheme is giving them a bit of a problem, particularly in Ejura. He said following the suspension, there's a lot of truancy. People are not going to school, and he's worried about the future of the school children there.
Okay, well, let's hear the Member of Parliament there.
Mr. Speaker, in a letter dated 12 January 2017, the Municipal Coordinating Director of the Ejura Sekyedumase Municipal Assembly indicated that the school feeding program in the municipality had been suspended until further notice, and he further invited all caterers to a meeting to discuss the way forward. Mr. Speaker, I am reliably informed that the decision of the suspension of this program is as a result of an impasse between the caterers and some youth in the constituency. This unfortunate development, if not addressed immediately, may affect the purpose of the program and eventually affect the quality of education delivery to the peoples of Ejura Sekyedumase. It is important that going forward, all stakeholders work together to free the program from politicization, which has the potential to undermine the effective delivery of this laudable program. Mr. Speaker, since the 12th of January to date, over 14,000 school pupils have not been fed, resulting in low attendance in public schools. Mr. Speaker, in this era, where successive governments are putting in place pragmatic interventions to promote educational development, any effort aimed at drilling such interventions like the school feeding program should be resisted. Mr. Speaker, I would like to crave the indulgence of this House and to appeal to the Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, as well as the Minister for Education, to intervene and make sure that the children who are the future of this nation are protected, to ensure that their education is not compromised in the interest of this dear country of ours. Mr. Speaker, the earlier the feeding program...
This is a human rights issue. This is an unconscionable matter which we cannot allow to continue. So I wish to appeal to the Honorable Minister for Gender and Social Protection to take a look at this matter and then look at a long-term solution of taking away the partisanship out of this. I think that we all have to be sincere in matters like this. This is one of those matters that I know that the Right Honorable Speaker, as a Reverend Minister, will agree with me when I say that for all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God.
Therapy.
For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God, he says. Okay, let's go through, and of course we almost played the speaker, but let's go through the background so that we can understand better what he says. How did he attempt to resolve it?
So he's asking the Committee on Education, which is the first committee, this is an education related issue, and the Committee on Gender and Children. That the school feeding program has been moved from the Education Ministry to the Gender and Social Protection Ministry. He's asking the two committees to meet with the Member of Parliament to deliver the statement, and within a month they should come back with recommendations on how to avoid such a situation of the school feeding program being politicized.
Okay.
Professor Michael Quay.
Well, Professor Michael Quay, Speaker of Parliament there. Let's hear him now.
For removing the various obstacles which have negatively impacted on the program, including the well-accepted partisanship on both sides of the House, the quality of the food, payment to providers timeously, ensuring social inclusion in all aspects of the program. And it should be noted that it's a very well-researched document, which will be our aim in this honorable House. And I think it will be quite useful if the honorable maker of the statement, if not a member of any of these two committees, should be appropriately co-opted to bring a fruitful document within the next 3 or 4 weeks.
Professor Michael Quay, Speaker of Parliament there. Gakpo, what next? What other things did they discuss in Parliament today?
One of the things that everyone was looking forward to was the report of the Appointments Committee on the 10 deputy ministers who were vetted from Tuesday till yesterday. You understand the committee has not been able to put together this report, and so it didn't come to the floor. So we're expecting that to come up on Monday. But on the floor, the minority leader, initially Samuel Okudzeto Blackwell raised concerns, the MP for North Tongue, he raised concerns about how now the Appointments Committee needs to vet 54 people before eventually the House rises in 2 weeks' time, and that may be a little difficult. But the minority leader, Haina Idrisu, and Mosechi Mensah Bonsu, the majority leader responded and indicated that there are times when, with the exigencies of the time, the committee needs to devise a way around it to go about it. So we're expecting the vetting itself to begin sometime next week, Friday, because they need to publish a notice out there to invite comments from members of the public before they go ahead. And within the 6 days, they may or may not be able to vet all the 54, and the House may require one extension or the other before the approval can be given. So we look forward to that next week.
So that's an update for you for next week, just in case. You don't need to wait till next week to know what's happening in Parliament. Joseph Opoku Gakpo has got all the details for you. How much do you sleep? How much sleep do you get, I should say?
I can only tell you that I sleep for less duration than I stay awake, just like yourself.
Give me the hours.
I'm not too sure. I'll calculate it and let you know.
Anyway, you're still young, so it's okay. Well, I try to get enough. I don't mind if I don't. Of course, I won't fall asleep on set, will I? So today is World Sleep Day, and it's an annual event which is intended to be a celebration of sleep and a call to action on important issues related to sleep, including medicine, education, social aspects, and driving. It is organized by the World Sleep Day Committee of the World Sleep Society and aims to lessen the burden of sleep problems on society through better prevention and management of sleep disorders. So if you're a child, young adult, middle-aged adult, or elderly citizen, do you know how much sleep you are entitled to? Joy News went out on the street to speak to some of you.
It's important. Reason is that whenever we walk our daily walk, we walk with hand, with leg, with everything. We walk, we talk. All is stretch, and we need to make it rest. That's why the reason why is important.
How many hours of sleep do you get?
I normally sleep like 5 hours in a day. Daytime, I don't normally sleep. But in the night, I can sleep from 12. Then I woke up by 5 o'clock.
Yeah, sure. It's very important.
Okay, and why do you think so?
Because the body needs rest after a hard day's work, always.
Okay, how many hours do you sleep in the night?
Okay, for me, I sleep for maybe 6 or 8 hours sometimes. Because after I do my normal jobs from 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock, and later I sleep a little.
Yes, for sure, sleep is important. Biologically, it's proven that when you sleep better, you grow well.
How many hours of sleep do you get?
8 hours.
8 hours?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
I used to get 8 hours, but currently 6 hours. Yes, because of how busy I am.
And then do you feel like since you've gotten 6 hours, has your work, has your productivity lessened, or like how do you feel? What's the difference compared to 8 hours and 6 hours?
Yeah, for productivity, it has increased, but body-wise, I feel that I'm weak. Yes.
You're welcome back, and let's do some GJA stories, shall we? Well, the GJA has been vetting members who are aspiring to be in executive position of the association. They've been vetting about 14 candidates so far, and well, they've been yanking some names off the list of those the executive hopeful. For president, those who went through are Johnny Aite from the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, Mr. Afemoni, who is the current president, who is a media consultant. So those are the two people who went through to be president. There was one other person who failed to make it, according to the GJA, and I'm trying to find his Lloyd Evans, and he is with the Daily Graphic. I've got his. He's on pension. Well, he's on pension. I've got his campaign manager in the studio. His campaign manager is Bwaine Asamoah. He's in the studio. We'll be talking to the, you're welcome, by the way.
Thank you, Gifty.
We'll be talking to the chairman of the election committee, the GJA's chairman of elections, and then we will find out why he was dropped and what is going to happen, because of course the team Lloyd are not happy. You're not happy, are you?
Sure, absolutely. I mean, you go into a contest with a full fact and a full glare that you are in to win, and then you have this quite a disappointing turn of events. I mean, certain quite out of the blue, unexpected. So naturally, you're disappointed. Naturally, yes. But
they've given you good reasons. I mean,
well, I don't know about good reasons, because really, from what we know, these are quite tangential issues. Let me just tell you a little about Lloyd. Lloyd has been the president of IFRS, that's the Institute for Financial and Economic Journalists, for several years, all right? Okay. And he's been until retired 2014 from Graphic. He has been a journalist of 32 years standing with GJA. I mean, that person certainly does not become a disqualified person.
But they've got a constitution that they work with, and they've got reasons why. They said Mr. Lloyd Evans, who was vying for the position of president, failed to meet the requirements under Article 47, which states that all members aspiring for executive position at the national and regional levels must be members in good standing for at least 90 days. They say that records available to the committee indicate that Mr. Evans paid his membership dues covering 2015 on the 5th of December 2016, and that for 2016 on the 14th of February 2017. In view of this, he is caught by the 90-day rule and therefore disqualified.
Well, we have a different aversion to this, seriously. I'm not a lawyer anyway, but I can tell you that that provision they are quoting that of context, and it's wrong.
It's wrong. I've got the chairman of the committee here on the telephone line with me, Ben Asoro. Thank you very much, sir, for your time here on the Pulse.
Yeah. Hello?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I do.
Thank you for your time. Now, I've got the campaign manager of Mr. Lloyd Evans here in the studio.
Yes.
He says that the Constitution, the part of the Constitution that you quoted is wrong.
Who quoted the wrong part of the Constitution? Hello?
Yes, sir, I hear you.
Did we get our statement?
Sorry?
Did we get the statement that the elections committee issued?
I've just read from that statement, and you say that he was caught by the 90-day rule.
Yes.
Yes, and his campaign manager here in the studio tells me that the explanation that you're giving to the reason, the explanation that you're given for his removal on the list is wrong. The way you've explained the Constitution, the quotation.
Now, we have a dedication committee. They can hold that committee and address the issues to them. So we have done our work. We've finished our part.
Okay.
If they have any queries to what we have said, they can contact the education committee of the PTA.
Okay, you've got other people that you've removed from the file, but before I go even on to that, what are the possibilities for Mr. Evans if he does not accept the drop of his name from the list?
Yes, if is the constitution we are following. We are guided by rules and regulations. The GGA has a constitution, and we are working within the constitution. We cannot operate outside that.
So how much time do they have if they want to seek redress in any way?
Well, that is left to them. We told them,
no,
the elections on the 31st. We have the elections on the 31st.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
31st March, we have the elections.
Okay, just please hold briefly for me. You've heard him. You've got the opportunity to seek redress if you want to. He says.
Well, thank you very much. Let me say, Mr. Asori is a former board member of graphics, so I defer to him.
Okay.
I used to work at graphics, so he's a godfather. So I don't intend to banter him at all. We do, yes, of course. We are said, and then a lot of the calls that have come is that are you going to go to court? We say no. The DG has rules and regulations that follow. But it's interesting for me to hear that Mr. Benasor is saying, really, that indeed they are operating within the rules of the GJA.
Yes.
I am quite very happy about it because the same rules will apply to show that even the processes that lead up to these elections has not been followed. And so I'm not a lawyer, like I said, the lawyers will take up these things and we will work on it. Because seriously, if he's talking about rules and regulations that they follow, we will expose them to show that the rules and regulations they claim to have followed has never followed. Let me point out to you, the elections were supposed to have been held last year in March. Can you find out from them what were the processes? And I will want every journalist to follow that through and find out from the GJA what were the processes for the postponing it. And was that done? Was that done? That process, was it done? And that is the question we should find out. If elections were supposed to have last year and you're not holding it now, what was the process?
Does that negate the work of the committee in any way?
Because you're talking about rules here.
Okay.
That's the point I'm drawing my attention to.
But how does that help your case in any way?
Because he makes the point about the fact that
there are
rules. And I'm saying that in that same rules, we also have certain things we are going to talk about.
So what are you going to do?
Oh, yeah. We are going to go to the adjudication board and, of course, go to the adjudication board and, of course, apply the rules as they claim to it.
If you apply the rules, I don't understand.
Well,
what
we are going to expose the rules, of course. We are going to seek and going to have them to explain to us why some of the processes were lifted off and others were not applied for the same elections. That's all.
Will that bring back his name on the list?
My candidate is very much on the list on 31st.
Well, he's not on the list.
I am telling you that after the process had ended, our candidates will be on the list. They will not have any option but to put Lloyd Evans back on the list.
Mr. Asaro, do they stand a chance?
My dear, I'm not interested in this kind of talk. I think let them do whatever they want to do.
Okay.
We are not enamored by those kind of threats. We have done our work. There are procedures. Let them do whatever they want to do. Since they are saying they will be on the list. It's not Lloyd Evans alone who has been disqualified.
Yeah.
There are about 5 or 6 people who have been disqualified. So why this hullabaloo about one person? I mean, this country is governed by laws. We have a constitution. The GGA has a constitution. We have to abide by that.
Okay.
We cannot make a leeway for one person because people say he's popular. Your popularity depends on doing the right thing and getting elected. It is not just by using the platform of radio or TV or the social media. No.
Because, Mr. Sorry to say, but I think you rather chose to use the media than we did.
Okay.
And I think I would not want to continue this kind of discussion because we have done our work.
Yeah.
They are insisting that it be on the ballot box. The ballot paper, the ballot paper. Let it be on the ballot paper if that is what they want. Because we are doing our work according to the Constitution.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, sir, for your time. Ben Asaro is chairman of the GJA Selection Committee.
A small short reaction about the fact that we are going on the media. I mean, for a committee that does its work, I mean, the man was vetted in closed door. One would have expected that you defer to him.
Okay.
So the rules of natural justice were breached in the first place. We have not, as we speak, received any letter from the same committee that says you have been disqualified. We heard it on the air.
Okay.
And so we have to react on the air. From here, Lloyd is out the country. In Takrady, he'll be back. When he comes back, we're going to GJA to find out. They give us a copy of their own rules that says that. And then we'll take it from there.
He said on 31st, they're going ahead with the election.
Oh, of course. I mean, But we are saying that we will be there 31st.
You'll be there 31st. That's a very interesting point you make there.
Sure.
But we'll see how it all pans out. Thank you very much for passing through.
Thanks for having me.
Mr. Bwahine Asamoah is the campaign manager for Lloyd Evans, who has been disqualified from contesting as GJA president. Just so you know, other members who also were disqualified are Mr. Matthew Makwame, whose disqualification is on the fact that he has not paid his membership dues for 2 years. And in the regions, Mr. Ampem Dako Kranting, Mr. Anthony Good, Mr. Kingsley Nana Ebwedu, Mr. Jones Anlima, Mr. Makanthony Dajenga in the Eastern region, they've all been disqualified as well. Mr. Amponsa Moses Ohene and Zambaga Rufai Samini, they've all been disqualified. Mr. Johnny Aite for the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, Afil Money, have been qualified and they're going through. For the vice president positions, Linda Asantie J. For the Ghana News Agency, Tina Afro-Yabua. For the Spectator, Francis Kokuche, Indo-Asian News Service have also been qualified. For the General Secretary, Dave Agbenu, Ghanaian Times, who is the current General Secretary, and Kofi Yabua, who is a freelance journalist. Treasurer, Audrey Dekalu, and Vance Azu, Junior Graphic. For Organizing Secretary, Albert Kwabena for Organizing Secretary as well. We wish them all the best, but we'll follow the story and bring you many more the developments as they unfold. But do journalists really care about the GJA? Here's a vox.
Well, GJA as a body, I think I don't really hear about GJA unless maybe there is something that has to do with a media house or somebody working for a media house, like a journalist or something like that. But if it's not time or there is nothing like that for maybe say a question or something like that happening to someone, I don't really hear from the GJ as a motherboard of journalists. And also we really hear from them when they're having the GJ awards. But I don't know if it's not time for GJ awards. Nothing about GJ that I really know.
Well, I think the GJ can do a lot more. Currently, if you talk about the GJA, we recognize them mostly when it comes to their awards. GJA awards. Apart from that, I don't know how they go about their duties, what impacts they make in the media fraternity. I think they can do a lot more, ensuring that the concerns and issues of journalism when it comes to standards, when it comes to ethics, when it comes to things that make the industry tick, they can go out and do a lot more than to, if you like, wait for another awards before we hear the GJA, doing stuff and a winner is announced and stuff like that. I think they can do a lot more.
You only hear them making statements when a journalist has been assaulted or something like that. But the real thing that we need as journalists to go forward in our work, we are not doing it. So I'm hoping that the new crop of executives that will come will do that which will benefit not only the executives, or they will not come out condemning only when something, but they will come out with policies and things that will benefit us as journalists.
Well, I think the GJA is an association on its own. It's not regulated by anybody. One thing people don't understand is it's an association. When you like, you join. When you like, you just opt out. So you can't say, well, they are doing well or not. What standards do we use to judge them? We can't judge them as a body, but we can judge ourselves as journalists.
And Benedict is standing by with sports on the pause. But just before that, a national alcohol policy has been launched by the Health Ministry. The objectives of the Public Health Act is to regulate the production, marketing, and the harmful use of alcohol amongst consumers, especially the youth. The minister says the ministry will significantly enforce the policy to check indiscriminate exposure of alcoholic beverages in the market.
We're going to undertake stakeholder engagement to try to solicit other views and brains and opinions to see how best we can fine-tune what the policy seems to be prompting and the trend of the abuse in the system at the moment. We have existing laws that talks about some of these things that we are looking at. It looks like enforcement has been weak. It looks like we are finding challenges with implementation, and it looks like technology and other new lifestyles and developments warrants, enacting some more laws and strengthening legislation. So that is exactly what we're going to do. But the ministry in this year's budget has allocated and found some little support to do more legislation on some of these health issues.
Well, that is the Minister of Health there.
Sporting issues pop up during the week, and though reporting is